Chisholm says he won't quit the Tannadice hot seat. Tonight, Chisholm remains in charge. That's despite speculation he faces the sack following Saturday's Scottish Cup defeat to Aberdeen. Still in charge, but for how long? Dundee United manager Gordon Chisholm and his coaching team left Tannadice late this afternoon after another day of intense speculation about their futures.
You still in charge of the side, Gordon?
Yeah, I am, yes.
You want some resolution to the issue, though?
Okay, cheers, Gordon.
Their positions have been called into question after Saturday's embarrassing Scottish Cup exit at the hands of Aberdeen. Despite taking a 2-0 first-half lead, the Tangerines capitulated after the restart, eventually running out 3-2 losers. Having watched the team struggle in the SPL and suffer a humiliating UEFA Cup exit to finish Minnow's Mooper 47, it's thought this latest disappointment could prove the last straw for chairman Eddie Thompson. Despite suggestions he's set to wield the axe, he was giving little away as he arrived at Tannadice earlier today.
No, there's nothing to say. It's just a normal Monday.
Despite the intense speculation, there's been no official comment from the club, with Chisholm, who oversaw training today, earlier insisting he won't quit. However, it still seems to be a case of when, rather than if, a change is made. But such a decision could be determined by how easily a successor can be found. Kilmarnock boss Jim Jeffries is reported to be the preferred choice, but United may have to look elsewhere, with Jeffries currently mulling over the offer of a new deal at Rugby Park. Meanwhile, United are investigating allegations assistant boss Billy Dodds gestured towards the home fans during Saturday's game. Dodds was involved in a confrontation with Aberdeen manager Jimmy Calderwood and Pittodrie coach Sandy Clark after the tie. The SFA have yet to receive referee Stuart Dougal's match report, although it's understood those involved will be subjected to individual reports. They face an automatic 2-match ban, subject to appeal, unless they're found guilty of excessive misconduct, in which case the punishment will be more severe. Having already fallen foul of the SFA's new disciplinary rules this term, Jimmy Calderwood could receive a more lengthy ban if he's found guilty again.
Gordon Chisholm.
Following intense speculation, Chairman Eddie Thompson parted with his 4th manager since he took control of the club. Nick Rugby has spent the day at Tannadice monitoring developments.
Well, here at Tannadice, the managerial merry-go-round continues. Today, Dundee United parted company with their 4th manager in as many years. Gordon Chisholm, who'd been at the helm for just 10 months, had his contract terminated following weeks and weeks of speculation about his tenure in the hot seat. And in a statement today, Chairman Eddie Thompson said the move was made with considerable regret. Gordon Chisholm arrived at Tannadice this morning to take the team training as usual. 3 hours later came confirmation that he had been sacked as manager of Dundee United. Tannadice board member Derek Robertson read a statement on behalf of club chairman Eddie Thompson.
It's with considerable regret, and I do not use this term lightly, that I have to announce the departure of Gordon Chisholm. It is hugely disappointing that it's come to this, but it's clear that performance standards and results are not as expected by our supporters or indeed myself. I would like to thank Gordon sincerely for all of his efforts on behalf of the club. He has behaved with great dignity during the unrelenting speculation that, as ever, surrounds all clubs in a similar position.
Chisholm, who took over the reins from Ian McCall, was awarded the job full-time after managing to stave off relegation last season and took United to the Scottish Cup final. But a poor run of results, including being knocked out of Europe and the early rounds of the CIS Insurance Cup and the Scottish Cup, sealed his long-awaited fate. Fans groups said today that Chisholm's position had become untenable.
Definitely, because the longer he left it, there was signs that there was always noises made about us heading up the league, and when you seen what was happening in the park, you felt like we were going in the opposite direction.
Billy Dodds, Chisholm's assistant, has been given the role on an interim basis, but has ruled himself out of the running for a permanent position.
It's a difficult day for me. Gordon Chisholm gave me my chance, and nobody will be any sadder than me, anybody who knows me, you know, but there's a job to be done here, and I think we've got to pick this club up. I love the club, so it's up to me to go on with it for however long it may be.
With United currently lying 9th in the SPL with just 5 wins all season, the winds of change have once again blown through Tannadice Park. In his statement, Eddie Thompson said that football managers are judged on the team's results, and clearly for Gordon Chisholm, 10 wins out of 38 games was simply not good enough. So the question is now, who will replace him in the top job here at Tannadice?
Turning to who'll be the new Dundee United manager. Several names are already in the frame, but it's Inverness boss Craig Brewster who appears to top the Tannadice wanted list. It's been a managerial merry-go-round at Tannadice in recent years, including Billy Dodds. The club have employed no fewer than 9 different managers in the last decade. Could Inverness player boss Craig Brewster be manager number 10? Despite distancing himself from the position in the past, he's emerged as a front-runner. The former United striker would be a popular choice with the fans, but this afternoon he insisted his focus is on his current job.
My position is I'm manager of Inverness Thistle. End of story. I think my name will always be linked with Dundee United. The reason being, I'm from Dundee, ex-player, and I think this club have done really well over the last year, and I think managers that have had a successful period are always linked with different jobs.
Motherwell boss Terry Butcher and his number 2 Maurice Malpass are also being linked with the job, as are Archie Knox and Jockey Scott. Kilmarnock boss Jim Jeffries, who was considered a front-runner, is expected to sign a new deal at Rugby Park over the coming days. As speculation mounts, it's being claimed the appointment of a new manager should herald a period of much-needed stability at Tannadice.
I think the club needs to get a solid base again, and for me it needs to get someone who knows not only the club but also the town. Because the last couple of years, no disrespect to Ian and Gordon, but I think what has been missing is definitely a familiarity in the town, in the sense that the ones coming in, I don't think, know what it is to be manager of Dundee United, in a sense that, okay, the history it's went before has been fantastic, but at that time when there was a good success, there was definitely a really closeness of the team with the fans, and I don't think there's been that for a couple of years now.
Whatever happens over the coming days, United chairman Eddie Thompson's under pressure from the fans to make the right appointment.
Dundee United made it clear Brewster is their first choice to succeed Gordon Chisholm, who was sacked at lunchtime. But Cally Thistle say they don't welcome United's approach. Billy Dodds has been put in temporary charge. Jeff Webster has been following the day's events.
Gordon Chisholm arrived for work this morning well aware this would probably be his last day as manager. By lunchtime, the inevitable had happened. Chairman Eddie Thompson's statement delivered by a club director.
It's hugely disappointing that it's come to this, but it's clear that performance standards and results are not as expected by our supporters or indeed myself. I do not consider that I have unreasonable expectations for the performance of the club, and we are obviously failing to meet these at present.
Chisholm had a good start to his time in charge. He kept United in the SPL and took them to the final of the Scottish Cup, losing by a single goal to Celtic. But they now lie 9th in the SPL, and last weekend went out of the Cup to Aberdeen, despite being 2 up at one stage. The long walk to the dressing room at full time looked likely to be his last as United manager. So what odds on Craig Brewster being next in the door at Tannadice? He has his place in United's history, scoring the goal that gave them their only Scottish Cup win in 1994. But Cally Thistle insist they don't welcome this approach from United and won't give them permission to speak to the player-manager. Chisholm's assistant has ruled himself out of the job, but will take care of the side until a new manager is found.
It's a difficult day for me. Gordon Chisholm gave me my chance, and nobody will be any sadder than me, anybody who knows me, you know, but there's a job to be done here, and I think we've got to pick this club up. I love the club, so it's up to me to go on with it for however long it may be.
It seems the weight of expectation once again proving too much for a Dundee United manager.